The atmospheric processors hummed their eternal song as Harry Chen navigated the crowded transit hub of New Kepler Station. His neural implant pinged softly, reminding him he had exactly 47 minutes before his hearing at the Interstellar Commerce Tribunal. 47 minutes to decide whether his entire career would dissolve into the vacuum of space. The theft happened in a blur of motion. Harry was reviewing case files in his optical display when he registered the commotion. A flash of iridescent skin, the distinctive cry of distress in a language his translator struggled to parse, and a hooded figure sprinting through the crowd clutching a silver case. Without thinking, Harry moved. Years of zero-gravity athletics kicked in as he bounded across the platform, using the station's rotational gravity to his advantage. The thief was fast, but Harry had mapped every maintenance corridor and service tunnel during his 5 years on New Kepler. He cut through a cargo bay, emerged ahead of the fleeing figure, and executed a perfect intercept trajectory. The case clattered across the deck plating. The thief vanished into the crowd before station security could respond. Harry picked up the case, noting its unusual weight distribution. The material was an unfamiliar alloy, warm to the touch despite the station's climate controls. He turned to find the victim approaching, a woman whose physiology marked her as Viridian, one of the 17 recognized sentient species in the Accord. She was tall, her skin shifting through subtle color gradients that Harry's implant identified as expressions of relief and gratitude. Her cranial ridge bore the intricate mathematical patterns that indicated high social standing among her people. 2 additional arms folded against her torso, a biological adaptation to their high-gravity homeworld. "Thank you," she said, her voice melodic despite the translator's mechanical overlay. "That case contains irreplaceable data. I am in your debt, human." "Harry Chen," he said, offering the case. "Just glad I could help. Are you hurt?" "Elsa Varquin," she replied, taking the case with 2 hands while her secondary arms performed what Harry's database suggested was a formal gesture of respect. "I am unharmed. Your reflexes are impressive." "Old habits," Harry said, glancing at his timer. 39 minutes. "I should go. I have an appointment I really can't miss." Elsa's skin flickered curiosity. His implant suggested, "May fortune favor your endeavors, Harry Chen." He nodded and rushed toward the tribunal district, Elsa already fatting from his thoughts as anxiety reasserted itself. The Interstellar Commerce Tribunal occupied the oldest section of New Kepler Station, where the original colony ship's hull had been repurposed into official chambers. Harry had been here dozens of times as a xenological consultant, but never as the accused. The charges were serious: unauthorized access to restricted biological samples, violation of Accord Protocol 7 Alpha, and conspiracy to engage in illegal genetic research. All false, but the evidence against him had been expertly fabricated. Someone wanted him discredited, his reputation destroyed. His attorney, a harried Jovian woman named Cress, met him outside the chamber. "The judge arrived an hour ago," she said, her multiple eyes blinking independently in what Harry had learned to recognize as stress. "Elsa Varquin. She's Viridian Judiciary Council, Harry. Top tier. This could go either way." Harry felt the temperature drop from his extremities. "Elsa Varquin. You know her." Harry's mind raced. "I helped her earlier today. Someone stole her case. I recovered it." Cress's eyes focused on him with sudden intensity. "You didn't mention this to her, didn't try to influence her." "I had no idea who she was." "That might actually help us," Cress said slowly. "Viridians take personal debts seriously, but don't count on it. She's known for her impartiality. She once ruled against her own hive cousin." The chamber doors opened with a pneumatic hiss. The tribunal room was designed for zero-gravity proceedings, with maglocks at various orientations to accommodate different species preferences. Harry anchored himself to the defendant's platform while Cress took position beside him. The prosecution, a team of 3 humans representing Joncor Industries, arrayed themselves opposite. And there at the judge's bench was Elsa Varquin. If she recognized him, her skin patterns gave no indication. She floated in the chamber's center, all 4 arms manipulating holographic displays with practiced precision. The silver case he'd recovered sat on a specialized mount beside her, its contents apparently part of her reference materials. "This tribunal is convened," Elsa said, her voice carrying perfect authority. "The Accord versus Harry Chen, Case 7754 Alpha. Let the record show all parties are present and the translation matrices are calibrated." The prosecution opened with their evidence. Security footage showing Harry accessing restricted laboratory sections, data logs indicating he'd copied classified genetic sequences, communications with known black market biotech dealers. Each piece was damning, and each piece was a lie Harry couldn't definitively prove false. His career had focused on xenobiology, understanding the vast diversity of life the Accord had encountered across 47 star systems. His research into adaptive evolution had pushed boundaries, asking uncomfortable questions about genetic modification and natural selection. Someone had decided those questions made him dangerous. "The defense may present its case," Elsa said, her skin remaining neutral gray. Cress did her best. She highlighted inconsistencies in the timestamps, questioned the chain of custody for evidence, presented character witnesses who testified to Harry's ethical standards. But without concrete proof of the frame-up, they were fighting shadows. Harry watched Elsa throughout, trying to read her reactions. Viridian physiology was complex, their color shifts operating on spectrums human eyes couldn't fully perceive. His implant offered approximations, but nothing definitive. As the hearing progressed, Harry noticed something odd. Elsa kept returning to the silver case, cross-referencing its contents with the evidence presented. Her secondary arms moved in patterns his database identified as deep analytical processing. When the prosecution rested their case, Elsa called for a recess. The waiting was agony. Harry sat in a side chamber, watching cargo haulers drift past the viewport, their drives leaving faint trails in the station's magnetic field. Cress paced, or what passed for packing in low gravity. "I don't know, Harry, she's thorough, I'll give her that, but the evidence is fabricated," Harry said quietly. "Someone went to enormous effort to destroy me. I just can't prove who or why." 2 hours passed before they were summoned back to the chamber. Elsa floated at her bench, her skin now cycling through colors Harry's implant labeled as determination and, surprisingly, anger. "I have reviewed all evidence and testimony," she began. "The prosecution has presented a compelling narrative. However, narratives are not facts, and facts must be verified." She manipulated the holographic displays, bringing up new data. "The silver case stolen from me this morning contained something irreplaceable, my personal research archive, including advanced forensic analysis tools developed by the Viridian Judiciary Council, tools not available to standard tribunal investigations." Harry felt his pulse quicken. "Using these tools, I performed detailed analysis of the prosecution's digital evidence. I found anomalies, microstructural inconsistencies in the security footage, quantum signatures in the data logs that indicate fabrication using military-grade spoofing software, communication records that originated not from the defendant's devices, but from a mirrored server farm registered to Joncor Industries itself." The prosecution's lead attorney tried to interrupt, but Elsa's skin flashed warning red, a universal signal even humans instinctively understood. "Furthermore," she continued, "I cross-referenced this case with 17 similar prosecutions across the Accord in the past 3 years, all targeted xenobiologists whose research threatened commercial interests. All used nearly identical fabrication techniques. All were prosecuted by legal teams connected to major biotech corporations. She turned to face Harry directly. "Mr. Chen, earlier today you recovered my stolen property. You did so without knowing who I was, expecting no reward, and while facing your own crisis. This character evidence, combined with the forensic proof of evidence tampering, leads me to one conclusion." Elsa's skin shifted to the deep blue that indicated formal judicial pronouncement. "All charges are dismissed with prejudice. Furthermore, I am referring this matter to the Accord's Criminal Investigation Division for prosecution of those who perpetrated this fraud. This tribunal is adjourned." Outside the chamber, Harry felt untethered, as if the station's gravity had suddenly shut off. Cress was already on her communicator, laughing and shouting to someone about appeals and countersuits. Elsa emerged from the chamber, still carrying the silver case. She approached Harry, her secondary arms extended in the formal gesture he'd seen before. "I must thank you again, Harry Chen," she said. "Without my forensic tools, I would have had to rule based on the evidence presented. An innocent man would have been convicted." "I just grabbed a bag," Harry said, still processing everything. "I didn't." "You acted with integrity in a moment when no one was watching and you had nothing to gain," Elsa said. "Such actions reveal character more clearly than any testimony. The Viridian people have a saying, 'The measure of one's worth is found in the small kindnesses shown to strangers.'" She paused, her skin shifting to what his implant tentatively identified as amusement. "Of course, I would have ruled the same way regardless. The evidence was fabricated. I am, above all else, a judge. But I confess that your earlier kindness made me look deeper, question more thoroughly." Harry managed a weak smile. "I'm just glad you're okay, and that someone finally saw through the lies." "Justice sometimes requires both evidence and effort," Elsa said. "Today we had both." She shifted the case to her secondary arms and extended a primary hand in the human gesture of farewell. "May your research continue, Harry Chen. The Accord needs those who ask uncomfortable questions." As she walked away, Harry noticed the silver case's surface shimmer with reflected light from the station's viewports. Stars beyond number. Worlds yet to be explored. Questions yet to be answered. His communicator buzzed with messages. Colleagues offering congratulations. Universities requesting interviews. Research grants suddenly available again. His life, moments ago in ruins, was rebuilding itself. Harry looked out at the stars and allowed himself to believe that sometimes, just sometimes, small acts of decency could change everything. The atmospheric processors hummed their eternal song, and on New Kepler Station, life continued its complex dance between justice and chance, between the kindness of strangers and the weight of fate.